Hello and welcome to Tiny Blue Games. Today we're obviously playing Wildstar.
Yeah.
And, yes, and we're doing another class overview, and today it is the Warrior. Here's the Warrior right here. I am Seesaw, or Chris, and with me I've got both Salvage, or Ryan.
Yeah.
And Brandon, or G's in this game, or Marks, I guess, in general. He's a man of many names in many games, but I have Brandon here. That's the one name that stays constant.
Oh my god, who is that beautiful little orange?
Yeah, and Brandon is here with us. We're in a duel sort of to show off some skills in the background while we do our first little starting overview. So, who wants to kick it off? Who's got a fun thing to start with the Warrior?
The Warrior exceeded my expectations in every sense of the word. I actually thought it would be a really boring kind of class. Like, I didn't plan on making a Warrior really at any point. It wasn't something I thought I'd be super into, but I made it anyway just because I kind of wanted to test it out during beta, because that's really what beta's all about, and I was actually shocked about how much I really enjoyed it. This is actually my Warrior that Chris is playing on right now, and like I said, it exceeded my expectations. After my Esper, I'll probably actually make a Warrior second. I just love them. I think they're almost underplayed, shockingly. I don't know what it is about them exactly, but they're just so much fun. They're really good in PvP. The way that they look, like the sword and the armor, is very aesthetically pleasing, especially on like a Granok, which is like such a classic Warrior class. I really like them a lot.
Yeah, no, I've got to give it two. At the start of the game, I was not at all excited to try the Warrior. I was like, no way, I'm just going to go with the Engineer to get my heavy armor class. And then I tried it, and I was like, wow, am I going to make this first action? Like, the movement is what it did it for me. Especially in PvP, like, the leaping and what skill is it? The Power Strike. When you use it in combat and you can sort of move while you're using it, like here, I'll just use it right now. It's amazing that you can fly through the air and do the damage, and I just really enjoy that.
The Warrior, yeah, it has like a different feel, because I was the same way. I think we were all the same way. We didn't really feel like the Warrior would be that fun, but it doesn't play like all Warriors do. It plays differently. It has a really nice flow to it. It almost feels like it's very swordsman flow, but you also have like the little saw blade, the plasma cannon. Like, there's lots that you can do that's different than most average Warriors. You can pull people towards you, which is not really that much of a Warrior thing, I guess. It's more of like like the Scorpion Wire with the Thief from Guild Wars 2, but it's a really fun class. Like, the attacks, they all flow into one another. Like, you slash, then you spin and slash, and same with the Power Strikes. You just keep on slashing, then do like a little slam at the end.
I mean, there's obviously classic Warrior things, such as it's got like like a whirlwind. I think overall it's an amazing class.
It is, and then you have to talk about the whole, you've got the, you might have touched on it at the start, but the armor, right? The heavy armor and the swords, like, it's always fun to have a great sword.
Yeah.
Like, no one's upset with a big sword in your hand. It just looks really nice.
Yeah.
So that's, we're just going to lead into the actual footage we have now with the Warrior from our beta fun, so enjoy.
Alright, so here we have Brandon in PvP. Brandon, how did you like the Warrior in PvP?
It was pretty fun. Yeah, he's super slashy, and he's pretty fun. We kind of talked about it before. All of his skills flow together really nicely. Like, they don't really seem split up. They all just kind of seem to move into each other.
Which is really good for capturing, like, or killing the flag carriers, I guess, as you can move along with them very, very well. As you see here, he's sort of covering the flag very nicely with his... sort of floating in the air, slashes like that. He's also got some charges, and he's got you pull these guys nice. The chain's obviously really nice.
Oh my god, squishy Chuas, come here.
There's a lot of Chuas. Like,
yeah. They should have like a Chua only guild, and it's just like an army of them. I could see that being a thing.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure WoW had that with
like
the goblins or gnomes. Or something. Yeah.
But honestly, let's talk about the Warrior. How did you enjoy the PvP on the Warrior versus your other classes, which is pretty much your Stalker and Spellslinger?
Yeah, Stalker and Spellslinger. Well, obviously the Warrior's not really similar to the Spellslinger, because I mean, he's a melee class, and he does not heal people. He kills them, but compared to the Stalker, he was quite a bit more tanky. He also had I think less movement, I'd say, if I really wanted to bring it bring down to it because I don't have as many charges. The Stalker snare is a bit better, but I mean the Warrior's a bit more tanky, and he has a really nice pull towards him, as well as I think the Warrior is more kind of about knocking people down and CCing them, and then kind of unleashing your attacks, where the Stalker's more a little bit of CC and just more heavy damage.
And also, it doesn't have a lot of movement, but the way that it gets close to its enemies is more getting them towards them. They have a lot more than just the chain. They got charges. They're really good at closing the actual distance, and it kind of makes up for their, lack of mobility in a way. Like, they're not as fast.
They're not as fast, but they have a lot of movement skills.
Yeah.
It's getting... Because
they're really good at keeping on people is what it is that they're really good on staying on one target and just harassing them.
They just don't have a lot of speed to run around.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, especially with how tanky they are, it just makes it that much easier to harass somebody up the field.
Speaking of which, we're now watching Salvage do some tanking on his warrior. Now, this was the first time you ever tanked on a warrior. How easy was it just to pick
any
up?
game? I liked it, but I think I did a bad job because I've never tanked in any game. I've never really tanked. I've either healed or DPS. So, but overall I liked it. It had a lot of skills. It has a lot of frontal abilities. I think it would be really good at holding aggro, but still keeping a bit of damage out, because a lot of the damaging abilities still just do crazy amounts of it.
Do you use your sort of front, your little cannon arm piece more as a tank than you do?
Oh yeah.
It is a lot more used for that.
Yeah.
At this level, at least, I don't know about the further you get on, but at this level, you for sure
have a lot more skills. Like that
There's-
shooting one right
Yeah,
there.
if you just look at the support versus assault
There's a lot
skills, there's
more.
definitely more plasma cannon in the support.
Which is cool because it kind of gives you two different play styles. I mean, I know it's not a shield, but it is a different feel for the two of them, which is nice.
Yeah, maybe that'll be something soon, like a buff where it looks like
a shield for a while. That'd be
kind of nice.
They might even
Yeah,
have
really
that
cool.
further on, and we
Maybe
just don't know
we
about
just
it
don't
yet.
know it.
I'd love
If you
that.
had a nice two-handed sword in one hand and
Yeah.
a shield, you'd be
That'd
pretty
be pretty-
badass.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
It would kind of make up for the no shields at this point.
I miss
It would.
shields.
I do miss shields, and that warriors are always fun because of the weapons you get to use usually, and you don't get that many. Well, you don't get any other weapon choices but the two-handed sword, which is unfortunate, really.
It's not the first time we've seen it. I mean, Death Knights and WoW, for example, used a lot of two-handed weapons to
You
tank.
still had
Different
the choice
two-handed
between
weapons, though.
a sword,
Yeah.
a hammer, and
Yeah.
axe, right?
It's not a
this
huge
is just
deal
one
to me,
sword.
though.
It's not the biggest deal, no.
No,
And
it's-
ultimately, it will not ruin the warrior.
Of course not.
The warrior is far greater than I ever expected it to be in this game. It just
Same.
is. Because I even in other games, I haven't been huge into warriors, and this one's probably going to bring me in.
I would agree.
You see the flaming sword there, very nice animation.
It's,
It stays on until you do a few attacks, right? Is that what it is?
yeah, it does. It gives a wound and reduces their healing. It's very fun in PvP
Probably,
too.
yeah. It reduces
It also adds damage when you hit with it, so it's pretty fun.
See a bit of Simon here.
Oh, I rocked it.
You actually did do really well at this. I mean, it's not super hard, but you did it a lot quicker. You might not have done great tanking after it, but the Simon was amazing. That's what the group just wanted you for.
Yeah. That's what I'm got recruited for.
Got recruited for.
Yeah.
And here's a bit of you playing PvP.
Yeah.
So you play offense on your warrior. Did neither of you played a tanky warrior in PvP? Did you?
Not in
No,
PvP,
I don't think
no.
at this level the tankiness is. I don't know. I didn't really try that hard to be tanky, I guess, but
Because I played the tankiness on my engineer in PvP at this level, and I actually quite enjoyed it. But I don't know how the warrior would be as far as it goes. It's kind of fun to do a lot of damage and hit big anyways at this level.
Yeah, you can see it here, the flag here, he gets so close, but that's the other advantage about the warrior is, you can move while you use all of your skills that I know of right now, at least. You can always stay mobile, you can always keep on them, whereas, with some of the ranged classes, you have to sit there for a while, and then you have to run up a bit, and then sit still for a while again, whereas the warrior, you can just hunt them down the whole time.
And that actually is what makes them maybe a bit better than a lot of classes at taking the flag carrier by themselves, where you don't have people slow or stop it for you while you attack, as they can continue their own attacks and slow at the same time, which is a very nice big help for them, right? So we switch back here to Brannon as he's down on the ground.
whoa,
and
you
watching...
don't know me.
we do.
Watching
He didn't want me to put the clip in, but I needed to. Just because he wanted to cut it off right there, and I was like, "No, you get the death." But we continue to watch him kill things. How did you find the damage output of the warrior versus the stalker?
Well, at the beginning, I thought I'd try more of a tanky warrior, and then I kind of switched to more of a crit warrior. So I don't think I had like the full experience of a high damage warrior. I think I kind of had a medium, probably aimed a bit more towards damage at the end, but I didn't really spec for one type of thing more than the other in the warrior. I didn't spend that much time on him, but the damage is more consistent, I'd say, rather than more bursty. Like it's more kind of heavy hits, like a up and down, whereas the stalker's kind of a bunch of small swipes that just continue, but with one big burst.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I mean, they're more loose when they're playing than the stalker, whereas it's more about coming out of stealth and being very precise with your hits. The warrior has a very big sort of cone area to hit in.
Yeah.
Like it's
like a big arch.
Yeah, a very loose, I got a big sword kind of feel to you.
Which
is what it is
is
at the heart. So I
what
mean,
yeah, all warriors really are.
you got your spin and whatever. So I mean, it's
I'm big, I have big armor, and my weapon is big.
And it's interesting that they still went that way in a game that revolves around telegraphs. Having a bigger telegraph would seem like a big advantage in a game like this, right? Like they're a melee, so they don't have quite the range, obviously, but they've got a very big telegraph around them in a 360 kind of way. They do
swipe a bit slower than the stalker, obviously, as well. So I think if it came down to it, I think the stalker would win in a how much you can swipe and do damage in your cone, as long as you can keep them in your cone.
But the fact that, they have a lot bigger of an arch really makes sense to what the warrior is, and it's the sense that because it's this massive sword and it's this, heavy armor guy, like, they have a lot greater of, in a way, like, a threat distance. Like, you kind of want to keep your distance from them as much as possible anyway. You know what I mean?
Where would you guys like to see the warrior go in the future with their skills? Like, what kind of things would you like to see them add to it? Like,
right now?
Yeah.
It's hard to say, because unfortunately I wasn't able to actually play a warrior in beta as much as I actually would have liked to. But right now I think it's... I don't know. I can't say because I haven't played it enough, I don't think, to criticize. I actually really love the class all around.
It's true. I'm sure they have this already, but I'd like to see a plasma cannon charge-up ability, sort of for like a DPS.
A more long-range kind of thing?
Kind of like, like a spell slinger. You charge it and then you kind of unleash it, and your big cannon arm will just kind of rip on the guy. And
that would be very cool,
pretty
actually,
fun.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him go into more of a... maybe mixing more of combos with his plasma cannon as well as his sword as well. Like, you could kind of see some of them where, he pulls them in, then slashes with the sword and uses his little plasma arm to ripsaw people and slow them. But kind of more intense combos that'll just take people down and just make your skill art look a bit nicer.
It'd be cool if they could they had like a friendly pull on the plasma cannon, so you could pull like your friends to you.
Yeah,
I know the medic has that, but it would be interesting for a actual melee damage doing class to have that. Like if you were trying to chase a flag carrier and your friend was a little bit behind you, just sort of like do a quick spin around and pull him towards you or something.
Actually, that'd be really cool. Yeah,
be a very interesting style for a melee damage duo to have.
It would.
Well,
this
rogue
does not have a good day. No,
yeah,
he tries to get away, and I'm just like, no.
This is the final scene of our video, our PvP clips, I guess, and our just general talk about the warrior. But yeah, you see some pretty fun stuff, ultimately.
Yeah. Very sad stalker.
Very sad stalker, yeah. He's not having
the
best day. Just getting charged down by by a bunch of people. So that is our warrior overview. I hope you liked it, and I hope you're going to make a warrior, because I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of us are thinking to make it as our second class. I almost debated making it as my first class. I mean, it's just a really fun, solid class.
Yeah, it is.
So I'd like to thank you for watching this overview. We're going to have some more overviews coming up for the other classes. We also have some that are already on our channel, so be sure to check those out. I'll link them on the screen right now. And just in general, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this if you liked it, because it does help our channel. Subscribe for more Guild Wars 2 or Worldly World footage, as well as Wildstar footage.
Yeah.
And leave a comment on how you feel about the warrior. Pros, cons, your thoughts. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to like it. If you have a comment about it, or a suggestion for a future video, please leave one. If you have friends, share it. And finally, and most importantly, subscribe. Honestly, only one of these is red. Click it.